Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia and have a little update on the end of the Spider-Verse. Well, I got a really interesting update from Marvel Comics. Now this is the comics, not the movies. And as you know, we're going to try to do more comic stories, and I think this is going to be a pretty big event. Now, Marvel Comics has a new event coming in August called The Edge of the Spider-Verse. And they've actually set the stage for a very ominously titled follow-up, The End of the Spider-Verse. So it sounds like Marvel Comics has got some pretty big plans for all these alternate Spider-Man characters. Now, obviously, the Spider-Verse has become huge. I don't think Marvel had any idea it was going to become an Oscar-winning movie back when it first jumped to the pages of Marvel Comics, but it is a pretty big franchise, and I think Marvel Comics is trying to make a big event of it. Marvel Comics announced that the new Edge of the Spider-Verse limited series is going to be available this August, and it will be 5 issues. Additionally, they're going to introduce several new spider-oriented heroes, as well as catch up with a couple of favorites such as Spider-Gwen, Spiderman Noir, and Spider-Man India. Now this might be a big deal for Marvel, but it is setting up something that could be the end of most of these characters, or maybe even integration of them into the standard Marvel Comics world. Now before we break that down though, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and ring the bell for all the updates. Also, our big giveaway. We're going to give away an Oculus Quest 2 at 50,000 subscribers. All you need to do to get in on our giveaway is be a subscriber and leave a comment. Every comment is an entry. Now before we dive into the primary part of the story though, Marvel did drop some really cool art. So while we're talking about the Edge and the End of the Spider-Verse, check out these pictures rolling in the background. Some of them are pretty wicked cool. Now, like we were saying, this upcoming Edge of the Spider-Verse will consist of 5 comics, and each comic will have 3 stories. But more interestingly, it sets the stage for the next event, which is called The End of the Spider-Verse. This is going to head our way later this year sometime, but Marvel Studios has never given us any indication of what's going on. Now, former Amazing Spider-Man writer Dan Slott did have a couple things to say to Polygon, and it appears this really might be the end of the Spider-Verse. This is what he had to say. Marvel has decided to do the unthinkable. So big, and bring the saga of the comic book Spider-Verse to a fiery conclusion. Yes, that's right. Later this year, we shall all bear witness to the end of the Spider-Verse. Now, I have to say, I am pretty interested in seeing what they have planned for the Spider-Verse conclusion. These comics have been popular for a reason, and although I doubt Marvel will put the concept to bed for good, I do think it will tie directly into making it some sort of historic event. This is Peter Parker's 60th anniversary, and I suspect promoting a lot of that will be a big focus for Marvel Comics, and they're probably trying to take advantage of that. Now, I don't think all these characters are going to go away, by the way. I think there is more than a pretty good chance they actually come to Marvel Comics proper, the 616. And with that, we could see some very cool, new, and exciting stories, seeing these characters team up with some other Marvel heroes. Not something we've seen in the past. I do always worry too many Spider characters will dilute Peter Parker. He is the original Spider-Man and something I grew up on, but I do understand there's a lot of popularity with these newer characters, and some of them are honestly pretty cool. Now, obviously, when we get some more news about the Edge or the End of the Spider-Verse, we are going to bring it to you right away. But I really do want to know what you guys think. Are you a fan of the comic book version of Marvel's Spider-Verse? And do you believe if Marvel puts an end to this Spider-Verse that many of these characters will find their way into the Marvel 616? Quite honestly, I don't see Marvel shelving characters like Spider-Gwen or Spiderman Noir. Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you won't get any updates. Peace.